And what do you see there in this white energy?
It's like a huge cloud, but it's like bursting, full of energy, and it feels like the energy of love. Just a really nice feeling.
So I'd like you to go into that cloud and you just feel that love. And just allow it to embrace the whole of your body. How does that feel?
Feels really good.
Must feel wonderful. Okay then, so we now just want you to just go back to that shell that you left behind you. And I want you to just realise that whatever's happened has already happened to that shell, and you're now on the other side of that life. And every life has lessons and a purpose. So as you look down, what do you think the purpose of that whole life was?
To just experience the feeling of feeling empowered.
So when you take control of your life, you can steer it in the direction you want. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good. So now let's just drift away from that life and that scene. And we're drifting and floating away from that life and scene, leaving the woman there to continue on her journey onto the spirit world. She will find peace, and she will find what she's supposed to find. So we're leaving her there to continue on her own path. Why did you pick that particular lifetime? What is it you wanted to understand from it?
It was such a happy lifetime. And empowered. And she was in touch with her own personal power, which she doesn't seem to be this time. But she's getting there. She will get there. I think she started.
She started on her journey.
Yeah, she has, yeah. At least she's aware of it now.
And she's aware of it now. And with this session, we'll be able to help her move forward on a spiritual path and resolve lots of issues that has held her back for so long.
Yes.
So also ask with the higher conscious, also scan Carol's body to help heal any discomforts that she has in her body that she's aware of, and also those that she's not aware of. Would you be able to do this while we continue?
Yes.
Thank you. She'd be very grateful for this. Carol's also brought forward many questions that she wants to know about her life. And one of the things she wants to ask about is her life purpose. She wants to know what her life purpose is, and has she achieved any of it so far?
Spirituality. And yes, she has. She started on her path. But there's lots more to experience. And she's got lots to look forward to. Because she loves it. She loves it. And so just continue with the development.
And is there any particular places that she needs to go which would best help her with her development?
Yeah, what we want to do is we want to get the art and the spiritual more combined.
And how should she best do this? What advice would you give her on this?
I think she needs to learn a technique of actually combining the two things.
Is this something new to her, or does she have an idea
This
already?
will be new.
It will be new.
Yeah.
And when will she realise this?
Soon.
And will she be in a teaching role for people?
Once she's mastered the technique, she'll then be able to teach it herself.
And from a human time perspective, in what time would you suggest this may happen?
We'd like to teach her the technique this year, and then maybe in 2 years she'll be able to teach it.
So she has a lot of work ahead of her.
She does.
She also says that she thinks she's a nice, kind, generous person, but why has her life been so difficult for her?
Lessons.
And what lessons in particular has she had to learn?
She's had to learn to stand up for herself.
And what is
She's
the
had to learn to fight her corner.
And what is the purpose of her needing these lessons so she can stand up strong and fight her corner?
Because if you're too nice, people will walk all over you.
And there's been a problem for her up to
Yes.
now. And she's asked about her her career path as well. She loves art, creativity and drama, and she wants to know if she's used any of these skills in her previous life.
Yes, she has, yes. Both.
She doesn't think she has a natural ability. She doesn't think she's as good as she really is. She has a belief that all women are bitches and all men abandon her.
Not true.
So what advice would you give her regarding this?
It's rubbish.
And does she realise this now, or does she still need to learn the lessons on this?
I think she knows it's rubbish.
She felt that she was not loved as a child, and she's worked hard and she's done her best to earn love. And it has been a really big challenge for her, and it's affected her for all of her life. What advice would you give her on this?
She is loved. She's always been loved, and she always will be loved.
And who is she loved by?
Us.
And what about the people on the earth plane?
Don't worry about them, they're idiots.
But she believes that there are people here that loves her.
There are some that love her, yes.
There are some.
Yeah.
And Jim in particular loves
Jim
her.
loves her.
For who she is. And
Chloe
Margaret.
loves her.
And there are many people around
She's
her.
had friends.
And maybe she just needs a reminder of this because of her own low self-esteem.
Correct.
And she also wants to know about spiritualism. She comes from a totally non-religious family, but she's been very passionate about spiritualism and reincarnation. So why has this happened that she's come from a non-religious family? What was the reason for that?
Because it was a contrast. And she knows this is the truth. She knows the truth when she sees it. Truth is very important. Truth and justice. She knows this is the truth. It just sits right.
Why did she choose Brenda and Malcolm as parents for her in this lifetime?
Because they were idiots as well.
But did they need to bring her up in a way to help her learn her lesson about standing
No,
up
they
for
were a
herself?
bit harsh. She, Brenda, was a bit harsh. She overplayed the role. You know, like a pantomime dame overplays the role. That's what she did. She overplayed it to Carol's detriment. She went above and beyond what she was supposed to do.
Okay.
She has been chastised for that.
She has. So no doubt she needs to come back and learn the lessons again.
Unfortunately, yes.
Colours and ribbons. And is this a tool that she can use when she's doing her spiritual work
Yes.
to help to get messages?
Yes, correct.
And when she uses colours, who is she connecting with? Who's her guides?
We can't answer this.
So would the guides be able to help give her answers?
Don't know.
How could she know when her guides have connected to her? Will she get a feeling in her body somewhere?
She can always use the colours.
She uses the colours.
But she doesn't need the colours. She can do it without the colours now.
So the colours are just as a prop for her.
It's just a
Just there.
yeah.
So she also has some questions about her mother, and she has a lot of anger issues towards her mother.
Well, who wouldn't?
So she has certainly been tested by her mother to the extent that it's affected all of her life.
Correct.
Would you allow us to have a conversation with her today?
We can try.
We can try, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to count to 3 and I'm going to tap you forward and we're going to ask Brenda to come in. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Brenda.
No?
Hello, it's nice for you to come and help with us today in this session.
Well, I didn't really want to.
But we would be grateful for your help because Carol needs your help at this time.
Does she?
She does. And
well, okay.
Okay, well, thank you. So how do you feel being able to connect with Carol today?
Well, I've got other things really that I'd prefer to do.
But Carol has some stuff that she would like to speak to you about. So I'm going to tap you forward. Okay, Carol, come in. And I'd like to tell your mother exactly what happened and why you feel angry towards her.
I just feel angry for the way that you treated me, spoke to me, behaved towards me. That as a mother, I would have liked a bit more love, support and encouragement.
Okay, let's go back to your mum. Okay, so what do you say to that, Brenda?
Nothing to say.
Okay, it's back to you, Carol. I'd like to remember a particular incident, the worst incident that you experienced from your mother. And I'd like to tell her how, first of all, tell her about the experience, tell her how that made you feel.
When I was 11 and found you in absolutely mental. Never been so scared in my whole life. I thought you were going to kill me.
Okay, so Brenda, what do you say to that?
Well, it was none of your business. You shouldn't have been there.
So why shouldn't she have been there? It was her house, so she lived there as much as you did.
She was just being nosy.
She was actually concerned. She found your clothes strewn across one of the rooms and she was concerned for your safety.
Yeah, well,
Do you not understand that she was not being nosy? She was looking out for you. And as any child would do, they would not want their parent to come to any harm. So do you understand that now?
I didn't want her friend to tell her parents.
Okay. And we understand that, as a person living on your own, your husband, today, she was just looking out for you. So let's go back to you, Carol. So what do you say to what Brenda said?
I'm just saying you always went so over the top with everything, Mother.
So I'd like to give her another instance where she made you feel so bad about yourself.
When she said...
So tell her.
When you said your degree was more important than my life, then I knew who and what I was dealing with.
And how did that make you feel?
Made me feel worthless. And that's how you make me feel. You make me feel worthless.
Okay, so Brenda, what do you say to that?
I can't be responsible for how you feel. I'm only responsible for how I feel. You have to take responsibility.
Okay, Brenda, that sounds very harsh, a mother talking to her daughter in that way. Is that the way you were treated when you were a child?
Things were different then.
Why were things different then?
I had a very strict father.
And how did your father, how was he strict to you?
Had very high standards.
So how did he treat you as a child when you were growing up?
He was strict. And I was strict with my children.
Mm-hmm. And that's understandable because as a parent you learn from your parenting skills from the way that you were brought up. And
I wanted my children to be liked.
But your children weren't liked because they had such low self-esteem and they felt totally unloved. Carol felt totally unloved and she's carried that all through her life.
But people like her, don't they? So what does it matter what she thinks about herself? Doesn't matter, does it? She's very likeable. She's a likeable girl.
But you didn't like her.
I was jealous of her.
Why was you jealous?
Because she was beautiful and I wasn't.
Mm-hmm. But everyone is beautiful in their own way, but she's your daughter. She's come from your womb.
She was competition, darling.
Why was she competition?
She was competition for the men, of course.
For the men, of course. But have you not considered the fact that actually Carol's beauty she's inherited from you? So
I was only ever attractive. I was never beautiful. Carol was beautiful.
Beautiful or attractive?
My mother was beautiful, my sister was beautiful, my daughter was beautiful, but I was never beautiful.
Okay.
And I wanted to be beautiful, but I wasn't.
Okay. So do you believe that you were not beautiful because someone said something to you?
I was attractive.
You was attractive. How
Yes.
do you know you was attractive and not beautiful?
Darling, I can look in the mirror.
Who told you?
I can see what's in the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the most beautiful of all? My daughter is more beautiful than me.
But she
So we have to get rid of her.
But she doesn't believe that. She grew up believing that she wasn't.
Well,
good
I never
enough to
told
be
her. People said she was so pretty and so lovely. I never told her.
Let's go back to you, Carol.
I didn't.
So what do you say, Carol?
I'm annoyed with you, Mum, to be honest with you. I'm really pissed off with you.
So let's go back to you, Brenda. Okay, Brenda, so you can see that Carol's carried a lot of illness, a lot of sadness and grief, and doesn't know how to love someone because she's never received love from you as a parent, and that's part of your job to do this. And when you look back on this, do you realise then that you didn't do the best job you could have done for her?
Well, I had lots of things to do.
And what did you have to do that was more important?
Well,
than
I had to earn a
your
living.
children?
I had to earn a living. I had a house to support. I had 2 children to support. I wanted to get a degree. I wanted to be somebody.
And you were somebody. You made something out of your life. And
Yes, I did.
absolutely.
And it was hard work.
It was hard work, but you've also brought 2 children up on your own, which is
Yes.
commendable. But there's no love there.
No.
So do you not feel that your life was empty because you never had love?
I was always looking for love.
Okay. So as a parent, if you never had love when you were a child, is that the way that you want to be to your children? Because you want to learn how a parent should be. And if you were treated in a very bad way, then is that the way to pass it on to your children?
No.
So do you realise that if you had another chance to do this again, that you would treat children differently?
Yes.
Because, as you know, we come here for a short period of time to learn things in this lifetime and to learn lessons. And you do realise that you're going to have to come back and experience this again.
Yes,
Another
well.
lifetime of being unloved. And there is a way we can get around this. Do you want to come back and do this again?
Not really.
So, would you like to learn the lesson and resolve the karma with Carol?
If I have to.
But you would need to ask for Carol's forgiveness. Would you be able to do this?
Well,
Would you want her forgiveness? Because the other alternative is you carry this through and you will come back in another lifetime and you will feel no love again. Alternatively, you can ask Carol for forgiveness, and if she's able to forgive you and she's prepared to forgive you, then your next lifetime you would have resolved the karma and you won't come back and experience this.
well, let's give it a go then.
Well, that's not very charitable of you.
Not very charitable.
But you're not saying...
Do you know who you're talking to, young man? You're talking to Brenda Gabriel Evans. I am somebody, my dear. I'm not a nobody like my daughter.
But Brenda, if you look at yourself now, you're no longer that person. You've moved on.
Don't you tell me who I am and who I am not.
But you've now moved on to the light, and that life is past and gone.
Has it?
Of course it has. If you look around you, where are you now?
I'm having a cocktail party.
Well, I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Well, I am.
Good. But at the end of the day, this lifetime is over, and you've taken that karma with you when you've passed.
Have I?
When you look back at the moment that you passed, and you had lost your
Mind.
mind, and also you starved yourself. Now you've followed from your mother, because if you don't resolve the karma, you come back and you have to experience the same things again. And is that what you really want to experience again?
Who do you think you are?
Because Carol really loved you. So Carol, let's go back to you. So Carol, what do you think of your mum and the way that she's speaking?
I think that's absolutely typical of my mother. Bless her.
Okay. So let's just go back to Brenda. Okay, Brenda, we'll come back to you now. So can you see this in a different way now?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Is there anything that we need to help you understand about the way that you were to Carol and the way that you need to learn the lesson?
But you don't understand my circumstances.
Okay.
It's all about circumstances.
Okay, well, tell us your circumstances. Let me know.
Well, I'm telling you, I was a single parent. I got abandoned by my husband. He pissed off to Australia, left me with 2 children. I had to work full time, had to run a house. I had 2 children. It wasn't easy.
So you find it difficult to cope with the responsibility
Yes.
of this? No life.
I didn't want the responsibility.
Okay, no life is easy.
I had no choice.
You're here to learn lessons. Do you think you didn't learn the lesson?
I don't like the way you're speaking to me.
Okay. What do you say then, Carol? What do you think?
I think we can reach a compromise here.
And what do you think we can do?
I think if we can meet halfway, then there will be some progress. And maybe if she could admit that she could have done it better.
Absolutely. So let's go back to you, Brenda. Okay, Brenda, you're saying like you're very harsh and very angry.
Well, I am angry.
Okay. What's the reason why you're angry?
It's men always let you down.
Okay. So Brenda, I'm going to help you. So this is your opportunity to clear this karma for once and for all, and you'll never need to experience that again. If you're ready to ask for forgiveness and you truly want it from your heart, then Carol will help you not have to go through this either, and you'll both be helping each other. Is that not a fair compromise?
I'm tempted.
Okay. So what I'd like to do, Brenda, is I'd like you to go back to the source of your anger with men.
It started with my father.
Okay, so I want you to think about your father
Yes.
and how he made you feel.
He made me feel insignificant, and I never want to feel like that again.
Okay. So what was your father's name?
Harold.
Harold. Okay, I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to ring Harold in. Okay, Harold, I want you to come in now. Are you here, Harold?
Yes.
Okay, Harold. We have an issue here with your daughter because you treated Brenda very harshly, and we want.
No, I wasn't harsh.
She says.
I was in control.
You were in control.
She was a very strong character, and I had to let her know who the boss was. I had to be the boss. I was the head of the family. I was the male. And I was the boss. And I loved Brenda. I loved her dearly.
You loved her dearly.
But she was very strong-willed. And sometimes I had to use my will over her will.
But do you think it's a case of wills over wills, or do you think it's a case of guiding a child to be a better person when they get older?
Well, it's all done in a different way in those
Absolutely,
days.
and I agree to that. So let's get Brenda back. Okay, Brenda, what do you say to your father about that?
Well, I loved my mother. She was lovely, Gladys. But my dad, I was scared of my dad. He was scary.
So let's go back to Harold. Harold, how does that make you feel to know that Brenda was scared of you?
It makes me feel bad to think my daughter was afraid of me.
It's an awful thing for a child to say. So because she was scared of you, she grew up being scared and afraid of all men.
Yes.
And as a result, she's had some bad experiences with men, and it's affected your granddaughter, Carol, in such a bad way. So we're trying to help Brenda understand that, wrongs don't make a right. So if you had a chance, Harold, what would you say to Brenda about the way you treated her?
I would say don't be scared of me.
And would you ask for her forgiveness?
I would, yes, I would.
Okay, so let's get you back, Brenda. Okay, Brenda, so come back here now. Brenda, he's asking for your forgiveness and he realises he was sorry the way he treated you. Would you forgive him?
Well, it's hard for me to forgive him.
But he's asking for your forgiveness.
I would give him my forgiveness.
And he said he loves you, as you've heard.
Yes.
Do you love him?
Yes.
So if you love someone enough, you'll be able to forgive him.
Correct.
Could you forgive him?
Yes.
So I'd like you to tell... Well, let's go back to him now. Okay, Harold, we've come back to you. So Brenda says that she forgives you. So would you be okay to go ahead with this?
Yes.
Okay, Brenda, we're just confirming you. So you're going to forgive your dad for all the way he treated you?
Yes, I forgive you, Dad.
Thank you.
My father.
Okay, so now let's go back to Harold. Harold, I would like you to go and scan all the parts of Brenda's body. We're going to use Carol's body. So Carol's going to be Brenda. So Brenda, you're coming back here now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get Harold to use Carol's body as Brenda's body, and then want you to bring out all the emotion and all the sadness and everything that's stored in Brenda's body, to let go of all the anger and sadness that she felt of the way that you've treated her. And I want you to tell me when all that energy has all come into my hand that's held on her heart, and we're going to remove this from Brenda's body. So tell me when it's done. Tell me when it's full up. Can you feel that coming off, Brenda?
Yes.
Every little part where it's stored in any part of your body. So how are we doing, Harold?
Doing fine.
So how are we doing, Brenda?
Doing good.
Okay, so tell me when it's all in my hand. All those emotions that's been stored in the body for such a long time. That's right, bring it all up now. Is it in my hand now?
Looks like little black ghosts and ghoulies.
That's it. Bring them all up into my hand, and let's drag it all out now, and just move it up into the universe and out the way. And let's see if there's any more. Bring some more up. Bring it all up into my hand, little ghosts and ghoulies, and all the shimmering little bits, and every little tiny bit, all the little bits, and the other little tentacles and little fibres. Bring out the whole lot up. Whole lot of your body, and just feel that lightness coming, because it's all coming apart now. It's all just pulling away, disintegrating and letting go. And tell me when it's all there in my hand.
Okay.
Okay, let's bring all this out. Let's get rid of this, and that's all gone. Okay, let's go back to Brenda. Okay, Brenda, so we've come here now. Is that all clear now, Brenda? Does it feel good?
Yeah, it feels a lot lighter.
Good. So what would you like your father Harold to put in its place for you? Because it's all empty now. We're going to fill it up with something lovely. What would you like put in its place?
Love and joy.
Love.
And happiness.
Love, joy and happiness. Okay, Harold, so we're now going to... Brenda wants you to put in love, joy and happiness in all those places that were stored there. So I want you to fill it all up now, and I want you to tell me when it's completely done. How does that feel, Brenda?
Yeah, feels better.
Good. So tell me when it's all done then, Harold. So how are we doing?
So weird.
Okay.
Yep.
How's it done, Harold? Has you filled it all up now?
Yep.
Okay. So let's go back to Brenda. Okay, Brenda, so you're back here now. How's that feeling now then?
Feels a lot better, darling.
Good. Good. Okay then. So I'd like to just thank your father, Harold.
Thank you, Daddy.
And Harold, I'd just like you to come back, and I'd just like to say any passing words that you want to say to Brenda, and tell her how much you love her.
I love you, Brenda, and I'm very proud of you, and I always have been.
Okay, thank you. Back to Brenda. Okay, Brenda, what do you say, Brenda, to your father?
I say thank you.
And he's told you that he loves you.
Yes, and I love you as well.
And that's lovely. Okay, so back now to Harold. Okay, Harold, thank you very much for coming in now and for clearing all the stuff for Brenda, because now that she can move into a past life, and she knows that she can forget all the issues that she's had with the father, and also the love, or the lack of love that she felt from you, but she knows that that's not true, and it's just the child's perception of what she was getting from her father at that time. So thank you then, Harold.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now back to you, Brenda. Okay, Brenda, so now that you've been healed and you're in a different space, we're now asking you to help Carol now. And would you better help Carol do the same thing?
Yes.
And are you ready to ask for forgiveness from her?
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to you, Carol. Okay, now back to you, Carol. So your mum now is asking for your forgiveness. So would you be happy to accept her forgiveness?
I will try to forgive her.
Okay. Now I'd like to remind you, Carol, of a story I heard a long time ago. There was a girl who was very angry towards one of her friends, and she was so angry she wanted to kill her friend. And she went to a witch one day, and the woman said, I want a brew to kill my friend because she's been so horrible and I feel so angry towards her and I just hate her so much. So the witch made a brew. It was a very special brew, and the witch said, this is going to make her feel really sick. She's going to come out in spots, and after a short period her body's going to break down and she's going to die. So she said, take this with you, but come back and see me in 2 weeks' time. So the woman goes off with the potion, the poison, and 2 weeks later she returns back to the witch, and the witch said, how are you getting on? And the woman said, I feel ill. She said, I'll come out in spots. She said, I don't feel good at all. What's happening to me? And the witch said, what did you do with the potion? And she said, well, I drank it. The witch said, you're not supposed to drink it. It was for your friend. So the witch managed to reverse the poison. But the story goes that when you hold on to a poison that you want someone else to die and you want to hurt them so much, you hold on to this anger, it's stored within your body just like a poison. And as a poison, and it gets worse and worse, and it weakens the body, and it comes out in all different illnesses. And this is what happens when people do not forgive. And by forgiving, it doesn't mean that you've forgotten, but it means that you've come to terms with the situation you were holding on to. And being able to let go of this begins to heal the body, and it also begins to heal the mind, and it begins to heal the reactions that you have with other people by letting go. So now, Carol, I'm asking you if you'd be able to forgive your mum Brenda for the things that she did, and she did the best she could as a parent, but now she realises the errors of her ways, and she's asking for your forgiveness. Would you better do this now?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so go back to you now, Brenda. So Brenda, would you be able to now help heal Carol and take out all the emotion and all the energy that's stored with the anger that she's held on to for such a long time in her body?
Yes.
Thank you. So now I'm going to place my hand on your heart, Carol, and Brenda's going to move all the energy that's been held and stored in your body with all the anger that you've had for her for such a long time. And I want you to tell me when it's all come up into my hand. So wherever it's stored in the body, just focus on where you've held all that emotion, and just tell me how it's been held there.
Looks like black tar coming out.
Black tar. And whereabouts is it located in your body?
From the heart.
From the heart. Okay, so what does it need to be released?
It's just going into your hand.
Just going into my hand. So your mum's doing this. She's taking all this out for you. She's uncovering your heart. She's removing all the black tar that's been stored in there for such a long time. All these years. And this black tar has been responsible for you not feeling good enough about yourself, not being lovable. And now you feel all this black tar is beginning to turn. Tell me when it's all gone and it's all in my hand. You feel it coming up?
Yes.
Okay, my hand's quite full up, so I'm going to move it. We're going to get rid of some of this. That's one there. Okay, so Brenda, so keep on bringing it up. So how are we doing with this, Brenda?
Doing very well.
Good. There's a lot there. Been holding on to this stuff for such a long time, and now this is the time to let all of this go. So tell me when it's coming up, Brenda. There's still much there?
Just a little bit more.
A little bit more. So Carol, you can feel this coming up now. You're feeling lighter and lighter, and especially around your heart. It's like the sun suddenly come out from behind a cloud, because you feel all this rush of energy coming in, and it's radiating from your heart. And it's been hidden for such a long time, all these years. And now it's time to be free and released from all of this for once and for all. Coming up from your heart now. So how are we doing, Brenda?
You're doing good.
Okay, let's move that out because my hand's full up again. There's loads of it. Horrible black tar. Okay, Brenda, so keep bringing it all up. And then tell me when it's finally out and I've got it all in my hand. So Carol likes to feel now all around your heart, and just feel and visualise all that black tar finally fading and melting as it begins to move slowly up into my hand. And it's going to feel very weird to know that you now have an open heart and you can love people from your heart instead of loving people from all parts of your body and loving people from your solar plexus. And now you'll be able to love everyone equally. And you think of your granddaughter Chloe, how much you love her. And also think of how much you love Louis as well. And you realise that you can begin to love them equally for who they are. And even though they're two very different people, they're two little people who need your love and guidance to help them lead a really good life. So how are we doing, Brenda?
Doing good.
Still more to come?
No, I think we're there.
We're there. Okay, let's lift this out now. Move this up into the universe. Okay, Brenda, is there anything else there, or is it all gone?
I think it's gone.
It's gone. Okay, let's just move that last little bit out. Okay, Brenda, what would you like to put in its place? Because there's a big empty patch where that black tar has been stored for so many years, and we want to fill it with something. What gift would you like to give her?
I'd like to fill it with sunshine, rainbows, and pink bunny rabbits.
Okay, and let's ask Carol. Are you happy with that, Carol, or would you like extra stuff put in as well?
Yeah, a heart. Some love as well.
Love as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Brenda, can you do that as well then? You can fill that.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, I know you'll better do it because it's going to be easy for you from the spirit world. Okay, so just fill it all up then with those things that you want to fill up with, and plus the love as well. And then tell me when it's all finished. Let's go back to Carol. So how's that feeling, Carol?
Yeah, good. It's nice.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
You feel that lovely warmth, gentle energy coming in. Feels so good. And your mum's doing this, and she's doing this with love. Genuine, pure love for you. That love that's been missing for such a long time.
It's only taken 60 years.
That's okay, but it's all coming in now.
Yep.
Okay, let's go back to Brenda. Okay, Brenda, how are we doing with this?
Yes, going jolly well.
Thank you very much. Let's just tell me when it's all completely finished and it's all filled up and everything is all sealed in its place and it's put in with love. And just feel that now, feeling so good.
Yes.
Is it all done now then?
Yep.
Okay then, Brenda, so thank you very much for doing that. So back to Carol. So she's now filled it all up, Carol. So how does that feel now?
Feels good.
Okay, it's back to Brenda. Okay, so Brenda, in parting now then, so what else would you like to say? Is there any word you'd like to say in parting?
I'd like to say, go your own way, like I did.
Mm-hmm.
Go your own way.
And what do you think about what Carol's achieved in her life and what she's capable of?
I think she's better than she thinks she is.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any words of love to say to her?
Well, of course I love her. She's my daughter.
But I like to say it as if you mean it, rather than through gritted teeth. Because your dad loves you, and he's actually said that. And it's such a nice feeling to be able to tell someone that you love them, because it makes them feel good, and it makes you feel good as well.
I love you, Carol.
Thank you. And now I'm just going to ask you and Carol to connect together. And I'm going to put this cushion on you, and I'm going to put this hand across, both two hands across. And I'd like you and Carol to connect and feel each other, really feel each other like you've never felt before. And I want you to connect, and I want you to share the love between both of you. So Carol, can you feel this?
Yes.
How does that feel?
Nice.
Okay. So Brenda, how does that feel to you, to be allowed to give Carol a big hug?
Yeah, feels nice.
That's lovely. And if there's anything else that you need to say, and whether you need to say it in your mind to each other, that's fine. So now, go back to Brenda. So now you're back to you, Brenda. So we'd just like to say thank you very much for coming in and the help that you've done. And we really appreciate your help here today. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now back to you then, Carol. Okay, Carol, so how you feel now then?
Yeah, relieved.
Okay, good. Okay. So we're going to ask someone else to come in while we're here. And we're going to ask now for Malcolm to come in. So 1, 2, 3, Malcolm. I'd like you to come in now, Malcolm. Are you here, Malcolm?
Hello, Carol, love.
Okay, back to you, Carol.
Hello, Dad.
So I'd like to tell your dad what you never had a chance to tell him.
Well, I loved you, Dad, and I'm sad that you left us, but I understand why you did.
Okay, back to you, Malcolm.
I just couldn't stand that woman. I had to get away from her.
Was that the real reason why you got away so quickly?
Yes.
But what do you think about leaving your children behind?
I would have taken Carol with me if I could have taken her.
I know, but you didn't. And she's had to live with that.
I regret that. I regret what I did to Carol. I've deep regret.
Okay, back to you, Carol. So what do you say to that, Carol?
I'd say I forgive you, Dad. I understood why you did it. Because she was horrible.
Okay, so back to you, Malcolm. So what do you say to Carol?
Thank you for forgiving me.
Okay. So now I would like you to help Carol to remove all the emotion that's been stored in Carol's body for such a long time regarding the fact that you left and abandoned her. And she has carried this through all her life. Would you be able to help her with this?
I'm sorry I abandoned you. But I always loved you and I never forgot about you.
And would you be able to help heal Carol now?
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm going to put my hand on your heart, Carol. And I want you to find where this energy of the emotion has been stored, of this memory in your body. And Malcolm's going to help remove this for you. So whereabouts is it stored in your body?
It's here.
In here. Okay. And does it have a colour or shape?
Yeah, purple.
And purple. How is it attached?
It's like a purple jellyfish.
Purple jellyfish. How does it need to be removed?
It just needs to be pulled out.
Pulled. And you're pulling it out for her.
Yeah.
She wants you to pull it. Can you feel that, Carol, coming out?
Yep.
Slowly, piece by piece, a little tiny bit. And if there's a little bit of resistance, that's quite common. So tell me when it's all in my hand, Malcolm. Tell me when it's going. You can feel that just coming out, sliding very slowly downwards. As every little tiny piece comes out, every little bit, and it's all coming out in one big lump. One big lump. Here we go.
Okay.
How are we doing, Malcolm? Is it coming?
Yep.
Is it all in my hand?
Yep.
Okay. Feels very sticky and heavy. Wow. Okay, just put my hand back there. Anything else in there, Malcolm? Is it all gone?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right, so what else? What would you like to put in its place, Malcolm? And we have the big gap there. What would you like to cover it over with? Would you like to shine a light in it, or what would you like to do? What would you like to give her?
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Let's go back to Carol. So Carol, would you like sunshine in it? Would you like anything else as well?
Sunshine would be nice.
Sunshine. Okay, Malcolm. So let's put sunshine back in there. So now just imagine this sunshine is coming in into that area where for such a long time you've held that old emotion, or the energy of that emotion. Can you feel that sunshine coming in?
Yes.
And that is lovely. So tell us when it's all been done, Malcolm.
Right, okay.
That's all done. Okay, so Carol, how does that feel to you now?
Yeah, it feels good.
Okay, Malcolm. Thank you then, Malcolm. And is there any words that you would like to say to Carol in parting?
Well, I've always loved Carol.
Mm-hmm.
She was the sweetest, loveliest, most gorgeous child. She's the apple of my eye.
And that's lovely, thank you. So Carol, what do you say to Malcolm in parting?
Thank you, Daddy.
Okay, so back to Malcolm. Okay, thank you then, Malcolm, and thank you for the help that you've given Carol today. And she really appreciates it. Thank you. Okay then, so now back to Carol. Okay, Carol, so we're now going to reconnect you back to your higher consciousness. Now on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, we're going to allow your higher consciousness to come back in again. So we can continue. So just allow that higher consciousness to come in. So higher consciousness, are you there?
Yes.
Thank you. So, is there any other information that you would like to pass on to Carol at this time to help her on her journey in life?
We will be with her. She just needs to ask. Just ask out loud and we will put a thought into her head.
Mm-hmm.